Do you know what the first Saturday in May is? It's World Naked Gardening Day. This is probably going to bore a whole bunch of you to death, but it's not my normal content either. However, today I have a small window to get a whole bunch done. I have been down with back and neck issues for the better part of 2 weeks, and we're going to have nice weather for the next week. But I have one day where I have help coming, other than Phil, because you know Phil's always big help. Where would you tape another strap? Anyway, so this morning in the fog, I am starting to build a couple of raised beds. Now, I'm going to show you the garden. It's a hot mess. Last year there was a lot going on at the end of the season, and so a lot of stuff was just, we'll deal with it in the spring. So it's spring, hello. So it's a mess, but I have a lot of plans for the garden this year, because it is part of my preparedness plan. Every year I try to grow a few things, and most years, by sheer dumb luck, I get something. But I am no gardener. I don't even pretend to be a gardener. Okay? What I am is somebody who is very interested in growing our food, in raising our food. Some of you know that have been with us that, well, in case you didn't hear, we have chickens. We also raise meat birds, and we raise pigs. So I'm upping my garden game this year, and I want to bring you guys along and show you what we're doing, where we're going with it, and different challenges that we have going on. This is not going to be like a real everyday, every week kind of thing, but it's also for me to be able to record where I started off with this and how it ended up for the season. I'm kind of excited. I have had many conversations with many people who are better at gardening than I am, and learned that even though we definitely are still getting very cold temperatures here in northern Michigan, there are some things that I can start, as in, put the seeds in the dirt and hope for it now, and then it'll be our first crop, because our frost date is Memorial Day weekend. So we have a 90-day window, give or take, for growing a lot of stuff. But I'm going to be getting some seeds in the garden after we get it set up. Today it's all set up, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that we're doing, including the raised beds. I'm not going to have you watch me put them together, but I'm going to show you the raised beds once I'm done with them, the ones that I already built a week or so ago, and then how we're cleaning up the garden and what my plans are. I hope that you enjoy it. Whew, okay. It's been a busy day. I did not pull my camera out a lot. I managed to hurt my back fairly early, so I was struggle busting through it, but we got a lot done, and I'm very happy about the progress, and we're going to keep going throughout the week. But I thought I'd show you guys what I'm working with for a garden, okay? I know that a lot of folks don't have gardening space, and then there's a lot of you that do. Some people are in apartments or whatever and can only put put something in pots. So I highly recommend doing it. It is cathartic, I think. It just makes you feel good, and there's noise in the background because they're working on the rototiller. And I'll show you what that's about in a few minutes. So our garden is our former chicken run and pig pen combined. Because we moved all of them farther away from the house, and then we fenced this in. We have to, with the amount of deer and everything that we have. And I chose raised beds. Probably could have made them a little higher because of my back, but it's good. It all works out. I literally have buckets and milk crates sitting around here at all times so that I have something to sit on. But this is the very beginning. Now, like I said, we can't legitimately plant a whole bunch before Memorial Day because that's when our frost is typically gone. We have an outstanding, unusual week coming up where we are in the 70s and we're not going to freezing at nighttime. So I am, my intention is to, instead of killing myself over just a couple of days, I am trying to pace this out. So I'll show you what I'm working with and talk to you about some of the plans that I have. And I will always take advice, always. I am at the farthest north point of the garden. That is an old wrought iron table that Phil found, and it didn't have the top on it anymore. You know, I think it came with a glass top, but it's so ornate and beautiful that I just wanted it for the garden. So for now, I just kind of wheeled it out of the way. But these are what we use for our raised beds. And this has been a mishmash compilation over the years, seriously. There are fire rings, there are wooden raised beds that Phil made, and then there are the raised beds that I purchased this year to add to it. And so it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, different heights, different sizes, different widths, and it's a lot of fun. So anything with the straw on it is where we planted the garlic last year. And if memory serves, I think it was 173 garlic cloves that I planted last year. And again, threw my back out. So I'm looking forward to being able to pull the straw off of those. I don't want to pull it off yet because of the frost and stuff. I have to actually look that up to see when I can pull them off. But I think it's going to be fantabulous. Yes, I do. So I'm going to pivot you here. Okay, there we go. So next to me here, that's going to be the tomato bed once I weed it. So I have to weed that bed. Tomatoes are going in there. I'm going to change up the formation. I had those posts and ran string across it and used the string to support the tomatoes. But I'm going to try a different method this year where it has the stalk bare, you know, and then the tomatoes up at the top. So cross your fingers. We'll see how that goes. That bed over there, I'm topping off. So I have to add more soil to that. I added cardboard to it because I don't need it to be deep this year or next year. I'm going to be planting my spinach and my lettuce in there. So deep is not necessary, but I do need more dirt than what I have. I have a little round bed there with some dead lavender. Lavender doesn't overwinter here. So I need to pull that out. And I normally put some kind of, you know, flower in these small beds because it's a pollinator. It brings in the pollinators and makes the garden just a much nicer place to be. And because I really, really love lavender. Now, these ones, okay, so these ones right here, I don't know if you can see, and I'll get up in a minute, but it's oblong, and I want to say it's like 3 by 2.5 or something. So they're small, which is perfect. I picked up 6. I got 6 of those. And these I got on Amazon. I was kind of surprised. It was a pretty good deal. We had to put them together. And yeah, so I was really happy about those when I finally unboxed them last week and got them all put together. I will show you, I started all of the beds that I started. I put cardboard in the bottom. Even though we've got landscaping fabric, I put cardboard in the bottom, and then I put some wood in the bottom that is too small for us to stack in our wood pile to burn, and it's too green to burn this year anyway, so I put it into the raised beds because it'll break down, and honestly then I don't have to use that much dirt, right? So let me stand up and show you the rest. This little raised bed, I purchased 4 of these. I think they came in sets of 2 from Vivor. I wanted to try out their raised beds and see what they were like. And I'm impressed. They're a raised bed, and the price was right. So if you get a chance, check out Vivor, VEVOR.com, and I'll put links to those ones down below because those were Amazon, and the rest were fire rings, right? So the ones that have the dirt in them are stuff, you know, ones that I planted last year. Now this over here, I never did get any kind of landscaping fabric down on it. So this year I'm covering it in cardboard, and then we'll be throwing mulch on top of it. But these are those Vivor raised beds. And so as you can see, I put not only the cardboard on the ground, I put the cardboard in there, and then I put the wood in there also. Now, even with that amount of stuff in there, it will still take practically an entire cube of Pro Mix to fill it up. And I'm just going easy. I'm going Pro Mix, It just, I love Pro Mix. I can't help it. Is it the cheapest way to do it? No. Is it the least work? Yes. Because every time I buy compost or topsoil locally, it is filled with the most obnoxious, horrible weeds, and I'm kind of tired of it. So I'm just going to do Pro Mix and count my blessings and save a little bit of time, because time is money. So these are the old chicken coops. So that was the one before we moved everybody to the barn. And then there's this little one here, which is the one that we started off. We call that the conference room, because before we moved the chickens, they would literally get up in the morning, leave that one, and then go hang out in this one. It was weird. They were all having a meeting, you know, telling us everything that was going on. So this is another one of those ones from Amazon. Again, cardboard, wood, and then I'll be putting Pro Mix into it. And I'm looking forward to moving some of the straw and checking out the garlic. And that's garlic over there. I've got the what do they call those? I don't know. Anyway, the trough, whatever, over there. And I normally grow cherry tomatoes in there. So I'm going to be topping off that soil. That will hold 2 cherry tomato plants very nicely. And I normally get more cherry tomatoes than I can stand to eat. So it's a lot of fun, and always just a good thing to come into the garden and have some fresh tomatoes, right? Now, last year I tried growing that burpee corn in these pots and was remarkably unsuccessful, because honestly I don't think I kept them watered enough. And I'm noticing, I think I have some tulip bulbs, random tulip bulbs in there. So I might have some tulips coming up. And these little rings were outside. I tried growing lavender and stuff out there. Yeah, no. So they're coming in here, because all of that back there behind the old wash tub is tall phlox. And I'm terribly egregious about cutting these down. I just don't cut them back. I probably should, but I don't. So those are just last year's, you know, yeah. They'll grow up, they'll surround it. Nobody will know the difference. But both of these buildings, we are going to, the structure, the frame is good. But the particle board walls, after years and years, is just not worth it. And that door is horrible. So we are going to actually strip the walls off, and we're going to turn these into little greenhouses, which I'm super excited about. And I will be taking you along with us. That is we normally put chicks in there, you know, but it's out in the garden for right now. So we have all of these different kinds of raised beds. Now, all of that mulch I got last year before I threw my back out again. So this year, with help, I'm going to get that mulch spread, and we are going to be chipping up a bunch of downed limbs to further make mulch to cover the rest of the landscaping fabric. That thing right there is our compost bin. It's on the other, you access it from the other side. So I am planning quite a bit, and that's my worm grower thing. Anyway, so I'm planning quite a bit. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be starting spinach and lettuce and beets and carrots, and I forget something else, probably this week. I'll be putting the seeds into the dirt. They may not start growing right away, but that's okay. I'm going to be topping off all of these beds that have last year's soil in them, because it's just not, you know, it's all settled, it's all down. So, but this is what we got done today, which really doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. My back will tell you that it is. And the guys rototilled the area outside of the fence right there, because we are that's where the blueberry bushes are going to be going. So let me take you out here. So that area that's fresh tilled right there is where the blueberry bushes are going to be going. And then I'm going to have to put a little fence around them for a little bit until they become better established. So this is where I'm going to be spending a large part of the summer. And I will be bringing you guys along once we get these all filled and I get them started, because I'm going to be throwing covers over some of them. I was hoping to make some kind of vertical growing system in some of them. We'll see how that goes. I can get kind of creative sometimes. But right now I'm just trying to catch up with myself and get it all done. My favorite holiday of the year is the first Saturday in May. That is World Naked Gardening Day. It's awesome. It is time to go inside, put my feet up, and relax my back a little bit. So until next time, everybody, be safe.